Good morning, friends. Good evening, everyone who has joined from different parts of the globe. Warm welcome to yet another beautiful day of My Time Infinity. So, friends, today it's my great pleasure to introduce a distinguished speaker named Haneesh. So, the moment I got to know about this gentleman, I was really fascinated because he comes with a very diverse background, such as international banking, education, personal development, and so on. And with such a wide background, he brings that wealth of knowledge and experience, and that's going to add a great value to our session today. After a great career as an international banker in the UAE, Haneesh has dedicated himself to the fields of education and self-improvement. And he has also authored a very beautiful book called Sciences of Improving Yourself Greatly. I'm sure this was a guide that has inspired many to embark their own inner journeys and personal growth. So since 2007, Haneesh has been practicing meditation, and probably that would have triggered and shaped his approach to the life and teaching. And his passion for sharing this knowledge has led him to, deliver various number of seminars and workshops in over 300 schools and colleges, as well as in various corporate, organizations. Anish, we are so happy to have you here. Thank you so very much for accepting our invitation. We are hear him speak about the topic of the day, science of energy fields, something very, this has rose a lot of curiosity in me. And we, though it is so common about energy and science, but I'm sure the topic itself, there is a lot of mystery in it, which I'm sure Hanish is going to unveil that. Over to you, Hanish. Well, let's hear about the topic that you want to share today with us.
Yeah, yeah. Hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, Hanish.
Yeah, okay. So the science of energy fields is something that I am, I learned from many different things, and it's like it's like the basic of all the things. The energy field is something that it's basic of all the world, but most of us, we are not in aware. We are only aware of the physical, presence of the body, the physical presence of the things around us. But the science will give us a perspective of who are you, what are you around, and all these things. Okay, let me go into it. Okay. So when we have the question of who am I, many times we have an idea of identity of who am I as a person, as a body. It's me as a body, or if me as someone who is having a personality, a certain ego, and all these things combined together, the way we think, the way we act, the way we behave, and all these things combined is what who we are. So let us initially start with the body. Like when we go into the body, when we think that we are this body, because everyone thinks that we are this body. So when we think that we are this body, let us take a little bit go deep and see who we are deep inside the body. So on the right side, you have your body. And from the body, if you go inside, you have your organ systems, organs, tissues, and finally comes down to cells, and these cells to the macromolecules, to the molecules, and finally all these things from ends with an atom. So not only your body, but everywhere, the whatever you see outside in the world. So everything comes down finally to an atom. Atom is the minute part, the smallest part of the creation. So now what is there in the atom? So when you, because with the combination of atoms, we form molecules, and combination of molecules, we have macromolecules, and from cells and cells to the tissues, the organs, and the body. So ultimately, you are a part of a body which is actually built up with atoms. Everything is an atom. So when you go into the atom, we have this, we have learned in our, when our schooling about, it's we have few things inside an atom. Now the question is, how much does these things occupy the space in an atom? The proton, the neutron, the nucleus, and the electron, and all. So it is something that we learned that 99.999%, the atom is empty. Only 0.001% space is occupied by these, particles in the atom. So which means that, and if an atom is 99.99% empty, and we are all made up of atoms, everything inside here is atom. So what you see is only 0.001%. So it's technically we are 99.99% empty, because in an atom, if it is 99.99% empty and we are made up of atoms, it shows that it clearly tells that what you see is only 0.001%. What you perceive the world is 0.01%. So that is actually the basis of understanding the energy fields. So you only think that you yourself as a physical body, but there is always a field around all of us, a field that is always carrying. It is an electromagnetic field in true sense, that is carrying, that is carrying us actually. We have this field, and it is two-dimensional basically. So this field is all the basis of all the when the creation starts, the field emerges initially, and we give you a few more examples how this field will emerge and it will submerge. So this field is actually the basis of all life. So when we whatever the external environment we are in, we are interacting, either it is the positive or negative, the first effect is on the field. So when the field is affected, slowly that effect comes into your body. So initially, nothing directly comes to the body, even the physical problems, anything that directly doesn't come into the body. The first they interact with the field. There is a lot of interaction within the field for a long period of time that we don't know. But once the interaction is done, then slowly the energy penetrates into the body. The disease or any other things that penetrates the body only after interacting a lot with the field. So if we are able to keep the field, better in a strong way, how then we can avoid all these, diseases, and we can become disease free also. And many people have showed their, how they have become. So I will be going a little bit deep and scientific a bit here, okay, and we'll be showing few things. So as we said, all these things are made up of, electromagnetic toroidal fields. We are all made up of all these toroidal fields which spin in two different ways, clockwise and anti-clockwise, if you say. So including every cell, every organ, and complete, even the earth itself is a complete field. So it is filled with a lot of field, earth itself. So, okay. So this is how we have the fields, we can see, we can see there is two types of fields. Again, when we go deep into the fields, we have two types of fields that are rotating, around us, basically. So if this is the normal field, the upper part and the lower part, this is how it's completely, happening all the time in every part of the world. So just observe this as how this creation happens. From this is how an apple. Let us take an apple as a fruit. So this is how the field around the apple is actually. So when the apple is, what we see is only an apple, but actually this is how the entire field will be there, and around the apple. This is how you can see there are different parts of energies that is coming from the top and from the bottom, and completely converging into a field around the apple. So this is how an apple looks like, in an energetic point of view. Even if you go to the tree, we normally see the upper part of the tree, but even the upper part and the lower part combined itself, it is kind of a field. And it is the same way. And everything, if you take a, even everything, if you take a, physical objects also, even a magnet, you can see on the left side, you can have, you will have the same field that we all have seen in our school or in a college, and we know that. So in the same way, every cell, the tree, human body, even the apple, everything is a field. Everything is completely a field. Only thing is we don't observe the field. We don't have that ability to perceive the field. Since we are having the ability only to perceive 0.001% of the world around us, we don't have the ability to perceive the field. So this is how we can say it as a a positive or a negative, just like how a battery is, how the both and positive or negative things happen. It will give rise to electricity. In the same way, this is the one the red light, red frequency, which we can assume it as, and the blue one, where there's two different fields that are actually emerging every day and every time from every particle and every cell and on all of the universe. So the whole of the universe is actually having this same similar field structure, and that is something that we cannot perceive. So the pure white light, splits into two. That's called what we are talking about. So two, and creating the red shift and the blue shift. So this actually then creates a plane of inertia at the contact point, which is at the 0 point within the field, at the middle of the field. That's from where the seed starts becoming slowly big. It's either the seed, even as a seed, because you become being a cell. From when you are created, being the first cell, from there even the field is the zero when you are at the 0 point of a cell, and from there the plane of inertia between these two, red and blue, when there is the point of inertia is the point of creation. So that is where everything emerges from that single point of two different fields merging at one point. That is where the everything is created basically. So that is the center of the field, radiates, and and the effect of this radiation creates a vibrating red, which is called feminine energy, and blue shift, which is called masculine energy. Then we are part of both these energies. So then after them, it creates green, which is the internal plane, 0 point. It is at the middle point, which is the point of creation, the inertial point. It is where actually the creation starts, when these two fields come together. So when these two forces merge at the center of the field, it gives birth to the physical matter. That's how the physical matter starts. So the four elements on the plane of inertia comes into existence from this point. So the center of the field is it's the ether, which is the fifth element, as we have five elements. So this ether gives birth to the four physical elements. That's how all the five physical elements comes into existence. So every day, every second, the creation is happening simultaneously in and around the world around us. So these four elements comes from this ether, from this point of creation, from the point of energy. So we all know about the five elements, but when we say space or ether, there is no specific definition for that. But the definition here is it gives this space or this inertia. This is the point of creation that gives rise to these four physical elements. So from now, I think you can understand that the physical creation, the physical matter comes into existence when these two opposing forces are in motion, equalized. When they rotate with an equal energy, then this creation starts. So everything is in motion. Motion in itself is called which is magnetic. So that wall, because we are talking about electromagnetic field. Our thoughts are electric and our feelings are magnetic. Okay, that's what we need to understand. So as we all know and learned this in science, energy cannot be destroyed, but only transmuted from into different states of motion. That's all we know all these things. So that is how this energy initially, it starts, and it will transmute into different forms. You are an energy, and when you die, it's not like that your energy is gone. It is transformed to another form. if maybe if in the form of a soul, and maybe in the form of something else. So it's all transmuted. Everything, the energy keeps on moving from one form to another form all the time. So, the electricity vibrates. We all know that. No, you know that electricity vibrates. In the same way, our thoughts vibrate, and all the vibrations have come back to a rest point, and that is the point when there is zero, when the vibration feels to stop, and that is where the entire decay happens. Even when our vibrations of the body becomes zero, that when the body starts decaying. So initially, for the first 24 hours of time, our body won't be decaying that much, because our vibrations will be still on when we die. So slowly after the body dies for a certain period of time, the vibrations start to keys to stop, and the decaying happens. Even for an apple, let us take an apple. The apple is vibrant when you plug an apple and keep it in your kitchen for almost like 5 to 10 days or 20 days. It is vibrant. The vibrations is there, but once the vibrations stop, once the vibrations is to stop, that when the decaying starts. That's how it's all there in the universe, because it's made of the atoms which contain the electricity. So when the electricity, when it stops, automatically the decaying starts. Okay, that's actually the that is how the creation is. Something starts, something created, something emerges, something grows, something stops, and so decays. That is the part of, that is the model of creation. And our soul is the magnetic, and it's an ever radiating, it's a very eternal essence which lives forever, unlike our body, which is electric. Our body is completely electric, and it is having a time period. But our soul is something which is magnetic. It doesn't have any any decay. It's only transforming its form from one body to another body. So birth, it's the cardinal and its creator, which we call as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, right? No, the birth is the cardinal and it's the creator. The growth is it's the preserver, which is called the Vishnu, and the decay, the destroyer. It's called the Shiva. No, that's the universe. That's the source of entire creation and destruction. That's what we talk about in Hindu mythology, in the Vedas, about the Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. How everything starts here, it's created, it's preserved for a point of time, and finally it gets destroyed. And one of the thing about the recent discoveries about the heart, even if you want to talk about the heart, it will take an entire class only to discuss about the heart. So it is very much stronger than we think. Everything happens from the field of the heart, the field that is emerging from the heart. The heart is the center, and it's more powerful than the brain. It is and it's like only if you have become a heart centered, if your heart energy is have become when you increase your heart energy, then you will be someone who will be a very magnetic person. Basically, the difference, you see people who are very magnetic is only because their heart chakra is so much vibrating, it's so much active, that their energy actually draws things to them. Even not only people, situations, you know things, it can be material things, all things what will be drawn to us when our heart energy is expanded, with when our heart chakra is very much clear and clean. Our magnetism goes beyond. You can see some people, you can see Patriji also, when he has a lot of energy around him, people are drawn to him basically automatically. And this all, thoughts are electric and emotions are magnetic. Every thought and emotion has a vibration. So we don't understand that. Since we don't have an understanding of the field, since we don't perceive the world as a field, we don't give importance to each and every thought. Every negative thought, every negative emotion has a certain vibration with a certain frequency, and every thought has an emotion attached to it. So when these thoughts and emotions are not positive, if they are having if you are having a lot of anger, if you're having a lot of jealousy, a lot of dissatisfaction, discontent, when you are having all these things, what happens is, you are attracting the same energy field around you. So when you think in terms of energy, you should always be conscious that every single thought, every single emotion has a certain frequency and vibration, and you should be very conscious of what you're thinking, how you're thinking, how you are reacting as a part of an emotion. You should be a very, very conscious person of every thought. That is how you will actually influence your field or a period of time. When you meditate and generate only positive thoughts, and try to react only into rather than reacting, I can say responding towards positive emotions, only that is the point of time when your energy field becomes more and more. Along with meditation, you have to become a conscious observer of your thoughts and of your emotions. So yeah, the strength of your field determines whether you are thinking and feeling high vibratory expressions or low vibratory expressions. So high vibrational thoughts and emotions strengthen the field, which I already told you just now. And low vibrating thoughts, negative thoughts, again, that influences or declines the strength of our field. So the depreciation of the field and the decline in the strength of the field is more prone to dis-ease in the body. So the more you're vibrant, the more you're strong with the field around you, the less the negative things come inside our body. So all emotions, they are felt in the heart, and all our thoughts are produced in the brain, that we know. So it's very important, for us to maintain positive thoughts only, purposefully maintain positive thoughts, and try to purposefully produce positive emotions, and that itself will make the difference. Because in today's world, having a lot of negative thoughts or negative emotions has become a part and parcel of life for people, but that should not be the case. That is actually depleting the energy field, that is draining the strength of the energy field, and that is one of the reasons today you can see diseases have become a lot more easy than the earlier days. Only the reason is because the field itself has become so much weakened. So that is one of the reason in spiritual perspective we are talking about why more and more people are prone to diseases and all these days. That is something that we can understand. And yeah, and the heart is, as you said, the center of the field, because even when you are, what is the first organ that is created when you from the cell, when what is the first organ that is created when you become a body? You all know, you might know that heart is our first organ that is created. So that is the center. Heart is the organ that's first created. It's the center of the field. From there, that is the seed. And it has the ability to send out magnetic impulses into the quantum field around us. So as I said, everything is a field. Your field is a part of the entire cosmos. It's the entire fields. So everything has the entire cosmos is a field, and in that field, everything is having each entity having its own field, and each field is influenced by the magnetic impulses that emerge from the heart. How we react, what are you feeling at this point of time right now, at a certain moment, or the entire day? What are your emotions that you are carrying? What are the emotions that you have suppressed, the suppressed emotions that are creating some kind of magnetic impulses sending into the quantum field? So when your heart chakra becomes completely free of these suppressed emotions, and your heart is completely open, when your heart is completely open, then you generate a lot of positive magnetic impulses that create a very strong field. But when people suppress a lot of emotions, and they constantly are in stress, that creates a lot of negativity in the field. Automatically their immunity also comes down. The strength of the field is directly related to the strength of their immunity. Okay, so yeah, that's about the heart. So how to have a strong field? Having known all this, I know it is a little bit of scientific for some of you, but if you are able to understand, We only see and perceive the body and things, but it is not that. It is more about a field. You are not just limited to this body alone. You are more than this body. You are outside this body. That is the field you are in. So the thing, how to have a strong field, how to maintain a strong field, or how to create a strong field from today, is there are few things. Living from the heart and not from the mind, as I already said. The heart is the magnetic one, and the heart is the source of creation. That is the seed. Your seed. If you consider yourself as a seed from which you have emerged, it is the heart. Okay, so live from the heart. Most of the today's world, people are living from the mind. We all totally live from the mind in our day-to-day basis, and we think that we have to cope up with the mind. These things, to cope up with the world, we have to be the mind. But don't believe that you can live from your heart. The more you live from your heart, automatically the world around you also interacts with you in such a way. And as you said, the positive thoughts, only positive thoughts, no negative thoughts at all on anyone. So that is something that we can imbibe in in ourselves. And positive feelings, positive emotions. And I said feelings, positive emotions. How can even if you don't have any positive emotion right now, even if your life is not so positive, you can try something like, you can sit in a meditation. You can imagine and visualize a positive emotion. It may not be there with you, but you can visualize that you are having certain activity around you which is creating a positive emotion. Just imagine. And even that imagination itself will will give out a lot of impulses of positive vibration, even though it's not there. So the more you do that, the more all these things happen. And the diet, as we all know, we all follow completely vegetarian. From vegetarian, you can often become a fruitarian over a period of time. Not completely, maybe at least one meal of the day you can be a fruitarian. That is quite possible. That will increase your energy field. Okay, and another thing, being completely around positive people, which in the sense of PSSM, it's we talk about satsang, people with people with who are radiating with the same desires of growing spiritually, rather than hanging around with people who are having only this materialistic things in the world. So that is one thing, that you can change your environment to change your field. And of course, you need to have a balance of chakras. Many times people have a disbalance in the energy fields in the chakras. So the more you meditate, the more the chakras gets balanced, of course. And being in the nature, meditating under the trees, spending time in the nature will will actually help. The nature helps our energy field to remove all the negative things from our field. And grounding every day. Today we lost touch with nature. We need to have certain touch with nature. Nature heals us. We need to touch a tree every day. We need to walk with barefoot on soil every day. Today, from most people, I feel that it could for someone it could be more than 3 or 4 or 5 months that they haven't touched a soil with their leg. That is the scenario today. But that will deplete your energy. Okay, and of course, ultimately it's about meditation. These are all add-ons, but meditation is the ultimate thing. When you do meditate, automatically you can influence the field around you, and you become so strong. You can become a strong field. First of all, you can slowly, when the cosmic energy flows in your body, it will help. The cosmic energy will actually cleanse the whatever the problems are there in the field. It will cleanse it. It will clean it slowly, and it will make the field very stronger. So that is something that we have to do every day. That is how we are. That is why we are taking meditation every day, and that is why everyone has to do meditation every day if they want a very strong field and strong immune system, and away, if you want to be away from any disease. So that is all about today's thing. So yeah. So yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity.